Hello everyone. Today we will talk about CSS pseudo-elements. CSS pseudo-elements are selectors that using CSS artificially create region in the DOM tree. Add the new elements to elements or extract part of elements of context. Well, let's get started and see it in the practice. As usual, I create an empty project. I show how to do it in previous video. If you haven't watched it, I advise you to look it. So let's create a tag P, for example, with class text and set some uh, text, for example, like this. And create some UL with class list. Like this, and add class, for example, list. So we create in our markup, you can see it, our results, and we just need to use these classes in our style file. For this, we just copy it like this and put it. So we have a class text and class list. Started, we just add minimal styles for this. For example, we add margin and here margin 2. And for example, font size here, and line height, maybe more like this, yeah. And for example, letter spacing, like this. For example, like this. So pseudo elements are written in the same way as pseudo classes. Our first pseudo elements will be first line. For example, for text, we just text first line, and these pseudo elements just set the style of the first line of text. With it, you can change the style of only the first line. For example, we add color this line green, and you see the result that our line became green. For example, we add more text, for example, and you see that only first line have such color. If we change our size of window, it will be changed, but only first line have such styles. The next, our pseudo elements will be first letter. We just need first letter. First letter, it's pseudo elements that specify the style of the first letter only. For example, in this example, our letter have green color, and we just make it red. For example, and font size 25 pixels, like this. That we change our first letter. Um, so the next, our pseudo elements will be before and after. Before and after pseudo elements display the desired content before or after the content of the elements to which something. For example, we have list elements before, and we must set property content. For example, it will be empty. If you don't set this, the browser doesn't see that you use such pseudo elements. For example, we set here quotes, and you see the result that before elements we have some quote, with after the same case. We just change for after, and we add the quotes of the end element. It will be a simple example how it's used, but I can show you how it's used in more complicated. For example, we just create before pseudo elements with empty content and end some styles. For example, width 10 pixels, height 10 pixels, border radius 15%, and background color, for example, will be red. Display inline block, and margin, for example, 0, 10 pixels, 0, 0. Okay, and we see the result that we add some circle before the elements. For example, we can use it with pseudo classes hover, for example, like this. And we add background, for example, green color, green. And when we just hover for elements, it changes the color, you see. So in the markup, it's often used with hover and something like this. So thank you for the watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, put likes, leave comments. It helps to promote the channel and motivate me to release more videos on YouTube. Thank you. Bye.